Hello, boys and girls. We're back at the potion factory in the spawn chunks. And yeah, welcome back to Fog's World. Well, first, before we get started today, I have some rather unfortunate news. Our death count went up by 1. You see, I was on my way out to the Wither Skeleton hunting grounds, and I had a little bit of a tangle with a magma cube who knocked me into some lava. In fact, I've got a little reenactment for you. Let me show you more or less what happened. No! And we're back. Yeah, that was a reenactment of the event. That wasn't. I didn't have the cameras actually rolling, but I thought I'd show you kind of what happened there. And as a result, I think no matter how innocuous my trips to the Nether might be, I think I'll be carrying one of these from now on. Because if I'd had one of those on me, I'd have been just fine. But yeah, live and learn. It's been a while since we've had one of those. Well, anyway, the potion factory is working very, very well. In fact, I probably had to decide what else to make here. Let's see. Do I want invisibility? Do I want strength? Do I want speed? Do I want harm? Let's do maybe some health potions? Yeah, we'll do like 9 health potions, and we'll boost the strength. And maybe make them splash. Sure, why not? So we come over here. Let's see, we're going to make them splash, boost strength, and we're going to make health potions. That light should turn on. Eventually. Yep, there we go. And we're off to the races. Well, one of the things that we're lacking here is we're lacking gas tiers. We don't have enough gas tiers for the filter down there even. So the next several gas tiers I find aren't even going to be able to be turned into potions. They're just going to fill up that filter. And so I thought that maybe it was time to finally build. That's right. We're going to build a ghast farm. See this ladder here? This is where we're going to build it. All the way up here. Yep, we're going up to the top. Oh, well, look who's here. Hey, guy. I probably should kill him, but right now I'm more interested in talking to you guys. Speaking of ghasts, huh? So, yeah, I went ahead and built this ladder all the way up to here. And now we come over here, and here we are, up above the Nether. That torch there leads back to Pork Towers. So we're going to build it right here, up here above the Nether, of course, for the same reason we built Pork Towers above the Nether. We're going to build it up here. If we build it in this area right here, it will be more than 128 blocks from Pork Tower, which means that it will operate completely independently. The two won't interfere with one another. Which is a good thing. We don't want any interference from the two. And we'll be good to go out here. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to locate where the chunk boundaries are so that I can do something a little bit clever. And I will probably do some building off camera. So I'm going to use a design that I first saw done by a guy named Impulse SV. And I know that his design has been modified and copied a bit by JL Zipcode, and it's been around a bit. It's a pretty good design for a ghast farm / magma cube farm / zombie pigman farm. I'm going to put some of my own spin on it. I'm going to show you why here. Let me go to a clip of his build. Okay, so this is Impulse's ghast farm here, 3-in-1. Actually, it's what he calls his gold pan, which I think is a great name for it. There's a lot of complexity here that I don't think we need. He's got triggers here so that each and every one of these spaces triggers an independent shaker table, which is very cool, but it's a little expensive. I mean, look at all the redstone blocks and all the hoppers. And yeah, this is not a little build. This is a big deal. I think we can do better. I think we can make this a bit cheaper than this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get started on my version of this and do a bunch of building off camera. If anything interesting happens, I'll let you know. Yeah, mostly I'm just going to start building this off camera, and then I will come back and we'll talk about some of the changes that I made and why I made them. All right, well, we got the first little bit done. Let me show you what I've got. I've put in a beacon. The beacon has jump boost and regeneration. Jump boost is just to make it easier for me to hop around while I'm building things. And regeneration is in order to allow this to work a little better. This is an ender pearl evader. This is how I'm going to get 128 blocks away from all spawn. So you just stand under here and hold shift, and up you go. Just aim for the middle of each square. It does take a few ender pearls to get to the top of it, of course, but once you're up, just keep holding shift and walk right off onto the edge. So what we have here is these are ladders on blocks, of course, half slabs to prevent things from spawning. Nothing's going to spawn on glowstone because glowstone's a transparent block. And we have ladders. So the ladders enable us to stop falling, and above the ladders, 4 pieces of string. So the string is what triggers the ender pearls. The ender pearls hit the string, teleport you to the string, and because you're holding shift, you stop falling from the ladders. And that's how this works. Now there's 2 ways you can get down. Of course, you can ender pearl back down, which is probably the simplest and safest way. Or this thing is also safe to just drop right down the middle, because each ladder is going to catch you, and then when you get down to the bottom, those vines right there act as a brake, and they drop you down gently here onto the pyramid. So now I have a way to get far above the world and make sure that every area within my mob trap is the only area where mobs can spawn, because nothing can spawn on the ender pearl evader and nothing can spawn down here. Those platforms, by the way, need to be about 25 apart in order for this to work. So if you build your own, 25 is about the magic number. You can go a little longer or a little shorter, of course, but 25 seems to work really well. So now I'm going to get to work building the actual mob trap, and I'll be back in a little bit. All right, and we're back. Let me give you a look at what we've got now. Okay, this area down here is the killing floor. This is where we're going to drop the mobs and kill them. This is for the pigmen and the magma cubes. And what we have in here, you can maybe hear it running in there. There is a mine cart running around back and forth in there. You can hear them going. If I open this up, you can probably get a look. Yep, there it is. Alright, that's a hopper minecart running around in there, and it will deposit anything that falls in that platform in here. You can see we've already had a couple of things there. And if I come up to the top of the ladder here, you'll see where I'll end up building the killing floor. So the killing floor will go right here. Now, of course, I'm going to be standing way up at the top of that tower there, not down here when this thing is in operation, because I need to get far enough away from the nether below that the only spawning that happens will happen up above. No spawning can happen on that platform down there because that is a solid platform of solid blocks to keep things from spawning on the tracks below. And it's covered with 2 layers of snow, which brings the level up high enough that nothing will spawn on it. The cactus around the edge are to kill the magma cubes when they walk over to the edge, because magma cubes won't be killed by the fall. So the next step will be to actually build the mob trap, which will be built at this level. Alright, I'm back. Now some progress has been made. So this stuff down here that we showed before, this is pretty much the same as Impulse's design. The stuff up there though, that's a little different. Let's go up and I'll show you where I'm at. We got a long way to go still, but I've made good progress. Now, hopefully you'll notice right away that this is a bit simpler. We don't have all the contraptions on either end to make the shaker table go. Instead, well, hello, piggy. Yeah, it's not quite lit up well enough yet, is it? Take a walk, man. Get off here. I'm talking. Thank you. All right. What was I saying? Oh, yeah. So this is pretty simplified compared to what Impulse's design was. Each of these lines here is not independently controlled. Instead, we're going to control the whole table. We're still going to hook up a detector system to detect when mobs are here so that it only shakes when we have mobs. But we're going to do the whole table at once, and we're going to do it with this hopper contraption right over here. What we have here, a little hard to see. Let's get up here. What we have here is a little cycle of 4 hoppers, and you can see that if I put something in one of these hoppers, like a piece of string, that the shaker table shakes and down fall the pigs. And I forgot a torch. Give me a second, I'm gonna go get a torch. We'll just leave that running. Might as well. Need some redstone torches here. There we go. Probably ought to take a bite to eat too while I'm sitting here. Actually, we'll do that while we climb up since that doesn't slow us down. Gold nugget fell outside of the trap. Oh, that's from the pig that I pushed off. That's right. Alright, here we go. So you can see we've got these shaker tables moving around like this. Now we need to stop this. Let's put a torch right there, and that stops the action. Because that stops this hopper from moving and stops the string. So let's go ahead and take that out so that it won't start shaking while we're on it. That's better. So now all we have to do is hook up all the string here, and whenever there's any mobs here, it'll turn that torch off. And then let whatever we have in that hopper move around again. Let me put some torches back out here again, light this up, make it a little easier to see what we're doing. But that's the basic gist of it. We use 4 hoppers over there because that way we can trigger on one hopper over here and skip one and trigger on the other hopper over here. So that gives these pistons a chance to retract before the next pistons push over here. Kind of important. Otherwise, what you end up with is pistons trying to push before the other ones have had a chance to retract, and that's not very helpful. So let's go ahead and put some string up here, and then I'm going to build the gas trap part, which goes right above it. And that part is pretty much the same as Impulse's design. So yeah, I'll get on that, and then I'll get right back to you. All right, I got all the string hooked up, and I can tell because as I walk across, I can see all the tripwires going. So if you decide to build this for yourself, here's a tip. Make sure you don't put anything in any of these hoppers until it's done, because once you put something in those hoppers, then tripping any of these trip wires will start the shaker table, and that makes it very, very difficult to build. So yeah, so keep stuff out of there until you're done. One nice feature of this design, by the way, is that there is absolutely nothing at all at the same level as the spawn table. And that way there's nothing that can interfere at all with the spawning. I mean, we've got a couple of hoppers over here, but that's it. Other than that, there is nothing at the level of the spawn table. So that should encourage optimal spawn conditions. Alright, let's get busy building the gas trap. We're going to build that over the top here. I need to find the center. The center of the machine should be about here. I need a 5 gap. We're going to start over here. So this is, if this is the center, then we go 1, 2, 3, and right there is where we're going to build it. And then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and right there. So that gives us a gap 5 wide to work with. And let's get building it. Well, I just realized that I made a slight mistake here. That bottom needed to be 7 apart, not 5 apart. So I've put these too close together. So I'm going to have to rip some of this out, and I'm going to have to rebuild it in the proper spot. But no worries. I caught it. So yeah, the bottom is 7 apart. The top is 5 apart. So anyway, I'm going to rip this up, and then I will rebuild that part. Back in a minute. Alright, we're just about done here. Got a few more string to put in. And then this thing will be just about complete. And the last string right there. So you can see how this will work. Ghasts spawn here. They break that string because they are quite tall. That pushes the pistons in and it suffocates them. Alright, so we are just about done here. The only thing left to do is hook up the shaker table. And we also have to get rid of these. Well, yeah. We have to get rid of the torches, but I'll show you how we're going to do that. We're not going to do that over there. Let me make sure I've got rid of all my scaffolding before I go any farther. I think that's all of it. Notice that I've covered everything with half slabs here so that nothing will spawn anywhere outside of the spawning table. So this is ready to go. Okay, now we just need to put a block of something in there. And just to trigger this, let's go ahead and let's do this. We'll do it this way. There's many different ways we could do this, but for now I'm just going to power this. That starts the shaker table. That'll get rid of the torches. I didn't want to just rip that torch out. I could have done that as well. I could have taken that torch out, but I didn't want to do that because I figured if I took the torch out, it might fall down in there and it'd be a pain to get it back out. So I thought this was a better way to go. So let's go ahead and get rid of the last of this scaffolding right here. And then we'll come out here and take, put this there because we don't want anything to spawn there. And we're going to start taking that down. Remove that. This and clean up after ourselves. Alright, it should be done. Now, in order to operate the machine, all we have to do is climb up here, get far enough away. Actually, this will operate right now. We don't really have to go up here. But I did want... Oh, you know, there was one other thing I wanted to show you. One other thing. So let me bring up F3. If you look here, over in my corner there, where is it? Where is the ceiling level, the loaded chunk level? Loaded chunk, 255. So in this chunk, that LC value down there, that says 255. But you'll notice that if I go over here, this LC level is only 175. And that's why I didn't build it any higher. Because this area where the spawning is has a significantly lower ceiling. And that lessens the amount of area that the game needs to check for spawn. Okay, I'm going to climb up here just so we can get a good view of this. We should have things spawning there shortly. Oh, there we go. You can see the shaker table move. That tells us that we've had zombie pigmen spawning on it. And now that I look, I can tell I didn't make that very symmetrical, but that's okay. And we already have killed a few zombie pigmen. So I'm going to go up there and I'm going to let this guy operate for a while, and we'll see what we can get out of it. I'll talk to you in a little bit. All right, well, I've been sitting up here for a little over 10 minutes, and we're going to go check it out. It occurs to me, though, that I could double the ghast throughput by spreading that out and putting 2 ghast killers side by side there. So that's something I'm going to look into here. But let's real quick take a look and see what we got in the box. Yeah, 10 minutes doesn't get you very far, does it? I'm thinking we need a little more than that. So I'm thinking I'm going to try and spread that ghast killer, see if I can do 2 on that platform instead of 1. That would mean I'd have to have 1 there, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, and then that would be that guy. Yeah, I think it can be done. I think it can be done. So I'm going to go take a look at that, and we'll see if I can pull this off. So I'll be back in a little bit. Okay, there we go. I have doubled the spawn surface for the ghasts, which hopefully will increase our chances of catching some ghasts. So there's twice as much area that could spawn ghasts as before. And we'll see if that does any good. I'm going to go head up to the top of this thing and start a timer, and I'll come back in like a half an hour or so, and let's see what we have. I'll talk to you then. Well, guys, as you can see from the clock up in the corner, I've been sitting here just shy of 30 minutes. I started that clock when I first got up here, and in that time, I know for a fact that we have killed 2 ghasts. 2 ghasts in 30 minutes. That's slow going. I know we've killed 2 ghasts because when this machine kills ghasts, they make the most horrific sound you could possibly imagine. It is the worst sound in the game, let me tell you. And it happens that ghasts, that death cries, can be heard for quite a ways away. Oh, look at that. We got 2 ghast tears too. Awesome. That is great news. So 2 ghast tears in about a half an hour. That's our takings for a half an hour. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, nearly 5 stacks of gold nuggets. We've got 2 ghast tears, some gunpowder. No magma cubes, interestingly enough. Of course, I would imagine that it's kind of hard to get magma cubes to spawn up there because there's not a whole lot of surface area big enough for them to spawn. Just like it's actually kind of hard to get ghast to spawn up there for a similar reason. The ghast spawning is actually a problem for 2 reasons. One, it's a problem because ghasts require such a big area to spawn that they can only spawn on narrow strips in the middle of those lanes there. And the other reason is because on top of that, ghast spawning is just very infrequent in the game. They're one of the less frequent mobs in the game to spawn. But it does work, And I'm even considering a way that we could very easily supersize this. This is not nearly as efficient at producing gold as Pork Tower is, out that away. Pork Tower is far more efficient. But of course, you could boost the efficiency by, enlarging the size of the spawn floor. You're limited. You're limited in length by the length of the redstone here, and you're limited in width to 12 because that's the most that the pistons can push. But you're not limited in the sense that you could easily repeat this pattern. You can build more of these and have them all within range of the platform up there quite easily. I could build dozens of these and that would work. However, since I've got Pork Tower, and since Pork Tower is quite effective as a gold farm, certainly far more effective than this is, rather than do that, what I suspect I'll end up doing is building a number of ghast targeted traps, and I'll probably stack them up above this. So I'll have this ghast spawning floor, and then a few up I'll build another ghast spawning floor with its own little mechanism of dealing with any pigmen that happen to spawn in it. Like I said, I'm not really interested in the pigmen so much as I'm interested in the ghasts in this trap. So let me think about it a bit, and I'll see what I can do. But certainly for now, our time is up. It's time for me to move on, guys. It's time to do something else. This has been a long episode in the making. So anyway, as always, if you like this episode, please hit a thumbs up. Please hit that like button so other people can find it. And if you want to see more, please subscribe. We'd love to have you here with us in Fog's World. We do these once a week. And please check out my Let's Play of Inferno Mines with my son. I'm having so much fun doing that. Oh, I can't wait until we record some more here. So anyway, as always, guys, thanks again. And I will talk to you all next time.